Chapter 1. Want to achieve more? Change your mindset. Your power dwells deep within you. Far too many people create an idea, believe it's going to work, and then they hit a roadblock. This could be something small and usually relatively insignificant, and then from there, they forget, they give up. If this is something you've done in the past, don't feel downcast. You're among the majority. What matters is that you change the way you do things from this point onwards. Develop a strong belief in your idea. When things become tough, don't stop. Don't give up. Think and Grow Rich was originally published almost 65 years ago and has been remastered for the current day. The ideas are the same, having made vast successes of people you may have heard of, including John D. Rockefeller, Theodore Roosevelt, Alexander Graham Bell, and Thomas Edison. It can do the same for you. You need to develop the mental tools and determination to avoid giving up when the going gets tough. It is all within your mind. Success comes to those who become success conscious. Failure comes to those who allow themselves to become failure conscious. Napoleon Hill. Chapter 2. Unwavering desire is a crucial step to success. The first step toward developing the right mindset is to achieve the desire, not just any old willingness, but a desire which is solid and unwavering, no matter what comes your way. In the past, you probably gave up when things got a little tricky, but how do you know you weren't almost there? When you harness the power of steadfast desire, you can overcome any obstacle that comes your way. During the gold rush, a large family discovered a supply of gold, but they didn't have the machinery for mining it. They put together a plan to obtain the machinery and began to dig. They realized they had one of Colorado's best mines, and everything was fantastic for a short period. Then, out of nowhere, they couldn't find the gold. It had dried up, disappeared. They gave up and sold the machinery, cutting their losses. What they didn't realize was that if they had continued to dig for just 3 more feet, they would have found the gold, affected by a simple fault line. Another family did indeed find that gold and obtain the riches the original family would have had if they hadn't given up. This is an all too familiar situation, but by turning your mindset on its head and developing an unwavering desire to achieve your goal, you are far less likely to give up. Edwin C. Barnes is an excellent example of this. He had a burning desire to work with Thomas Edison. He didn't stop until he made that desire a reality, working with the great man for more than 30 years. So, how do you develop an unwavering desire? You control your thoughts. You tell yourself what you want. The more specific, the better. And you create a definite plan to get it. You write all this down and you read it aloud to yourself 2 times every day. Within a short amount of time, your desire will grow to levels that cannot be beaten down with small roadblocks. Did you know? The human brain is capable of far more than we know. Scientists are still trying to work it all out, but the striatum and the orbitofrontal cortex are thought to be associated with motivation. Chapter 3. Faith cannot be seen, but it is a powerful part of our lives. Many people struggle with faith. This is probably because you can't actually see faith. There's nothing visible or tangible. It is a feeling and a sense of comfort. However, faith can be controlled and created by something called autosuggestion. This means that you can make a powerful sense of faith by telling yourself what you want to believe. Using visualization and affirmations sends solid instructions to your subconscious. From there, create a plan and work through it diligently. Faith and desire will help you to work through any potential issues you encounter. People who first come into contact with a particular criminal activity, example, theft or drugs, hate it at first. But when they're around it for an extended period, they grow used to it. If that person is around that crime for a long enough time, they will become influenced by it. All of this is down to repetition seeping into the subconscious mind. You are effectively training your mind. To have more faith, you need to use autosuggestion, and that involves talking to yourself firmly daily. You need to tell yourself what you want and demand persistence and action from yourself. You need to say to yourself you're going to develop confidence and that you aren't going to stop trying until you get what you want. This is your manifesto, something you sign verbally. Throughout this, you also realize that you cannot succeed if your actions affect others detrimentally. Give yourself demands. Tell yourself that you're going to be confident in your idea and you're not going to stop when things get tough. This is your verbal manifesto, a promise to yourself of what you're going to do to get to where you need to be. In addition to this unwritten manifesto, you should visualize already achieving what you want. How does it feel? How does it look? All of this will help to influence your subconscious and therefore develop that invisible faith. Chapter 4. Don't generalize. Make your knowledge specialized to be one step ahead of the game. We falsely think that knowledge is power. But what use is it to clog up your brain with all manner of random pieces of information that will never be useful to you in your life? Indeed, it's better to aim towards specializing your knowledge, focusing on the areas that will come in useful and which are going to inform your future actions and plans. There are two types of knowledge, and both are powerful. One is general and one is specialized. Specialized knowledge will help you take giant leaps forward in your particular niche. Read into your particular industry or area of interest and learn more. Ask questions and seek answers. The more specialized you can be, the more you'll succeed. Knowledge itself doesn't bring you riches. It simply influences your plan and therefore your actions. Henry Ford pointed out this idea very clearly. He was asked about his general knowledge or lack thereof. He questioned why he would bother cluttering up his brain with general knowledge when he had people around him who could tell him whatever he needed to know. Ford might not have been the most formally educated person globally, but he made sure that his knowledge was specialized in his niche and made firm decisions based upon it. Did you know? The right side of your brain is believed to be responsible for creative thoughts. Chapter 5. If you can imagine anything, you can achieve it. It's all in your mind. As children, we're always told to imagine and dream, but somehow as we get a little older, we stop doing it. If you want to achieve your dreams in adulthood, you need to continue imagining, but focus on it a little more sharply. Imagination isn't useless when you reach adolescence. You simply need to ensure that you focus your creative skills on areas that make sense to your goals. Your imagination is where you come up with ideas and make your plans. There's a saying that you can create anything which the human mind can picture or imagine. This is proven when you think about the giant leaps forward we've made in technology. Who would have dreamed that we would be able to speak to people on the other side of the world simply by using a computer? Who would have dreamed we would regularly be sending people into outer space? These were all ideas created in someone's imagination. There are two types of imagination. Synthetic imagination allows you to reaffirm existing knowledge, and creative imagination allows you to dream up new ideas and plans. It's essential to use the right one. Synthetic imagination isn't really about coming up with anything new. It is simply about rehashing the things you already know. On the other hand, creative imagination is potent, and it is where the brain communicates with something called infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence allows you to focus on your end plan, taking you where you want to go. Through this, you experience those hunches or flashes of ideas that don't seem to have much sense or reason. If you put those ideas and hunches into a plan, this plan needs to be definite and organized. The more solid and organized you are, the more likely your goal is to succeed. However, you cannot do this alone, and you need to create a team of people with whom you can bounce ideas off, gain advice and a new perspective. Napoleon Hill calls these your mastermind alliance. You need to choose these people carefully while ensuring harmony and fairness amongst all of you, meeting up regularly to move forward with your plan. Did you know? Thomas Edison failed around 10,000 times before he came up with the famous light bulb invention. Chapter 6. Be a leader and make a firm plan in order to move forward. When you begin to turn your ideas and hunches into a plan, this plan needs to be definite and organized. The more solid and organized you are, the more likely your goal is to succeed. However, you cannot do this alone, and you need to create a team of people with whom you can bounce ideas off, gain advice and a new perspective. Napoleon Hill calls these your mastermind alliance. You need to choose these people carefully while ensuring harmony and fairness amongst all of you, meeting up regularly to move forward with your plan. Every adversity, every failure, every heartbreak carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Napoleon Hill. The point is that you should expect to fail a few times because it is simply a part of life. Even the most organized plans will hit roadblocks, but you merely rebuild it and try once more. Your mastermind alliance will help you with this. Of course, you need to be a leader amongst your alliance and develop the right leadership skills. These include total courage, the ability to control yourself and your actions, a sense of justice, keen decision-making skills, the ability to make definite plans, always going above and beyond, a pleasant, easygoing, and understanding personality, responsible, someone who will accept responsibility when required, being able to cooperate and work well with others. A high-quality leader doesn't pretend to know it all. They appreciate that further learning and development is always needed. Do a self-analysis of your leadership skills, and don't be afraid to ask yourself hard questions. By becoming a firm leader, you will make robust plans that can weather storms, perhaps through a bit of rebuilding along the way. If things fall by the wayside once, simply pick yourself up and carry on. Chapter 7. Avoid procrastination to make progress in whatever you're trying to achieve. The most successful people on the planet can make quick and firm decisions without allowing procrastination to affect their choices. Henry Ford was renowned for his ability to make fast decisions, but if changes needed to be made, he was slow to check every avenue beforehand. This is true of some of the most successful people who have ever walked on this planet. Make sure and fast decisions, but reevaluate slowly. Caring too much about what other people think or listening to opinions is simply going to slow you down. If you care too much about other people's views, you're not going to be able to create that desire or faith because you're too concerned about others. It would help if you only cared about your thoughts and the views of those within your mastermind alliance. For this reason, be very selective with whom you let into your group. Friends and family might mean well, but it rarely works. Focus on the opinions of those who matter and avoid listening to what everyone thinks all the time. Being definite and firm in your decisions, however, takes a lot of courage in many cases. Napoleon Hill brings to mind the 56 men who put their signature on the Declaration of Independence. They put their lives on the line, definite in their choice. While your decision might not be quite so dramatic, it needs to be equally solid and firm. By now, you already know about possible roadblocks and the importance of not giving up. This has helped a tremendous amount by persistence. This is actual power and will help to turn your unwavering desire into cash. Persistence can be described as willpower, but when you add this to desire, it's a combination that little can get in the way of success. Persistence might mean you have to move slowly, baby steps even, but if you're moving, it's progress. Persistence is developed via the following traits: having a purpose, a very definite one; desire, being self-reliant, making very definite plans; ensuring specialized knowledge, working with others, example, your mastermind alliance; strong willpower, creative positive habits. Chapter 8. You can harness your sexual tension to create the ultimate power. Sexual tension is a potent emotion, but you can use that tension to your benefit in your effort toward creating monetary rewards. There are 3 main reasons for sex: to ensure the human race continues onwards, to ensure sound health, both physical and emotionally, to help transform regular ideas into genius ideas through transmutation. It is that 3rd reason which can help you to create a potent force. You're changing sexual tension or frustration and turning it into something positive and valuable in this context. This is called sex transmutation, and it means changing your thoughts about sex from a purely physical standpoint to something which can drive you onwards. When you add romance and love into the mix, you're getting a very strong and powerful driver, which has been enough to ensure success in many cases throughout history. Sexual tension is an extremely powerful thing, and when harnessed towards the things you're trying to achieve, could be the difference between success and failure. Sex transmutation means redirecting the mind from physical thoughts to creative efforts. Using sex transmutation doesn't mean you need to become celibate. It simply means that you need to look at sexual tension differently. It is about using that tension positively and constructively and giving it a creative outlet, which you can use to channel your willpower, persistence, imagination, and courage. Research in the past has shown that those individuals who went on to achieve great things were often highly sexual, and they learned how to use sex transmutation to their benefit. Chapter 9. The power of the brain and the subconscious mind. The brain and the subconscious mind can be affected by autosuggestion, something we talked about a little earlier. Your subconscious mind in particular is very vulnerable to the things you tell yourself and repeat, so it makes sense to use this to your advantage. Your subconscious never stops. It is working while you are awake and sleeping. You cannot control your subconscious 100%, but you can primarily, especially by your emotions. The subconscious mind is far more affected by emotions than the regular brain, which is more about logical thought and reason. If you feel emotions toward something, you're more likely to attempt to get it or fix it. Having a plan keeps you on track. Your emotions can rise at any time and knock you off track. Be as detailed as possible and know what you're aiming towards. There are 7 positive emotions: desire, faith, love, sex, enthusiasm, romance, and hope. The subconscious mind is less under your conscious control and is often affected by your wavering emotions. Using the 7 positive emotions, you can create a positive mindset. It is possible to be both positive and negative simultaneously. One has to override the other. By kicking out the negative emotions, fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, anger, and superstition, you can create a more positive subconscious mind, which will be of far greater use. This is called the law of habit. This law allows you to become a more positive person by focusing on the 7 positive emotions. Mastery of the law of success philosophy is the equivalent of an insurance policy against failure. Samuel Gompers. Giving into fear is one of the primary reasons why people fail. The most common fears are poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of someone you love, old age, death. These also create a cycle, with one leading to another. Fear isn't real, yet it is something that can quickly derail your plans. Indecision causes you to overthink, usually into aspects of anxiety with no solid foundation. To help protect yourself against fear and other negative factors, you need to develop willpower and always use it to build up a wall. This wall will keep out negativity and help you focus on your mind and a positive mindset. It's also important to surround yourself with positive and helpful people, not those who are negative. A negative person can easily transmit their negativity and doubt onto you without even trying. Conclusion. By becoming a stronger, more decisive person, you'll change your mindset about success. That means you're encouraging success to come your way. No more falling by the wayside when things start to become a little tricky. Instead, you'll foster the single-minded route towards getting what you want and becoming someone that others will admire and look up to as a result. Isn't that what everyone wants at the end of the day? Remember, changing your mindset doesn't happen overnight. This is a process you must dedicate time and effort to if you want it to work. You need to master each element entirely before moving on to the others. The whole process is a snowball effect, and as you master one section, it will lead strongly into the next. As you reach each goal, your confidence will grow quickly. All too often, we fall foul of our own negativity. It's easy to worry, panic even, and then start to overthink. This doesn't help your attempts at success and hinders them instead. Focus on becoming a stronger, more single-minded person. Trust yourself and work with a concrete plan. This will build your confidence and help you to achieve your lifelong aims. Becoming a successful person isn't down to luck. It's down to hard work and perseverance. These are things that anyone can encourage into their lives. It simply takes awareness and the ability to understand when current tactics simply aren't working. Take control of your emotions, create a plan, and start to move towards your goals in life. Try this. Use positive affirmations daily to build up your faith. Identify the people you want by your side throughout your journey. Example, your mastermind alliance. Consider attending a meetup of like-minded people. This will help you overcome your fear of interacting with new people and build up connections.